I just wasted 30 minutes of my life narrating this video, and my mic was off. So that's a way to start off the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Go Battle League video. First off, I do want to say thank you guys for all the recent support. You guys have been absolutely crushing it, and the YouTube algorithms, which I think everybody hates, have been my best buddy today. So I'm kind of in a good mood. Kind of killed my mood realizing that I just commentated a 30-minute video that went pretty smoothly, and I have to redo it. Anyways, got a lot of things to say in the intro, and this is just going to be this first battle. First of all, Ultra Premier Classic is back. Second of all, this team is really strong. It is an ABB team, kind of pseudo ABB team, with Nidoqueen, Swampert, and Sylveon. And the only reason that Swampert and Sylveon perform a BB core is because they're both very weak to, yes, Venusaur. If you are playing a team where you feel like Venusaur might be on the team, I would definitely just safe switch Sylveon. You can still threaten the Venusaur with Psyshock, and then you can just come back in with Nidoqueen. But I had a lot of success with this team. I gained 160 points in 1 hour. So I started these battles, as you can see, top left, like 12:03. I finished 3 sets before 1 a.m. I went 13-2, and I gained 160 elo. I was so pumped. Everything was on my side today, and I had to bring this video out to you guys as soon as I possibly could. So that's why I have a long video, 3 sets, 15 battles, a lot of gameplay. So bear with me here as we commentate through all these battles. First game, we have, I think it's Dragonite and Escavalier Gengar. So I'm going to let the Shadow Punch go. I do have a shield left, so my opponent had a lot of bait potential. At this point, I will shield up the next move. This is obviously a Shadow Punch because my opponent has to get that last shield somehow. But he won't be able to get the 3, and I'll be able to get this Psyshock off. This will take out the Gengar, and that is going to be a very nice first battle. So, Nidoqueen, level 40. Mine is only 24-43 because the IVs are 13, 13, 14. I'm going to XL this up to level 41.5 whenever Ultra Premier comes around the next time. I'm very slowly starting to build a repertoire of XL Pokemon. I do have like a level 47 Umbreon. I have this Nidoqueen that will be built soon. Obviously, it's not a very high level XL, but it is, you know, up to 2500, so it's going to be pretty useful for me. But my opponent also has a Nidoqueen, and I think this is the Hundo, but I don't think it's best buddied. So I'm going to catch an Earth Power onto my Swampert. Since we both baited each other, we got to the Earth Power at the same time. And since Swampert beats Nidoqueen to the CMP tie, this Hydro Cannon will be taking it out. And my opponent decides not to shield and get his Poison Fang off, which rightfully so. He has an Abomasnow in the back. Again, going to be getting to this Hydro. Is this a CMP tie? It is. And considering how much that Hydra did, Weather Ball could KO from here, but I don't think it does. Either that or my opponent undercharge. Comes in with Toxicroak to get ahead on energy, but this is fine. Sylveon can farm down, shield once, and this should be GG's. So let's see. Charm's coming through. My opponent's at the move. Probably a Mud Bomb, right? You have a lot of shield potential, but no, he goes straight for the big move. And now for sure it's not going to get to a Sludge Bomb. I'm going to be able to take that game, and we are 2-0. Getting into the next match here, Nidoqueen versus, oof, you'd like to see that lead. That's an Obstagoon. These counters are resisted. Night Slash is not going to be debuffing my defense, but it could be increasing my opponent's attack. First Poison Fang coming through. Obviously, you let this go. And a CMP tie because it takes 5 to get to the Poison Fang, takes 5 to get to the Night Slash. And my opponent Comes in Dragalge, and I see Poison type in the top right corner, and I think, ooh, Swampert's gonna have fun. The Mud Shots are gonna be super effective, but it's Mud Shot. And then Hydro is resisted, and Earthquake is a lot of energy. So, I bait my opponent's shields. I go for the Earthquake. Is this gonna be... No. Would have been cool to see a boom on a Dragalge, and I hate to spoil, but unfortunately there's not a lot of booms in this video. But stay tuned, there might be one, there might be two, might be three. Anyways, I'm just going to let this Dragalge take me out. He has to go energy dry to take the Swampert out, and at this point I'm not really worried about switch. My opponent only threw 4 Dragon Tails, so I know this is an Aqua Tail. I'm able to charm down, and my opponent has double poison. But I have Psyshock on Sylveon. This is going to be huge. I'm going to be taking it out. Oh my goodness, look at that damage. And at this point, I shield up the Shadow Punch, farm down. My opponent has Obstagoon. I definitely could have stayed in there. But Nido has a good matchup on Obstagoon. So why do I need to, right? I definitely also should have gone for the Earth Power. It would have taken out the Obstagoon instead of me having to get to 2 Fangs. Just makes the game a little bit cleaner. But that's okay. This was my first set running this team. It was very sloppy, but I was able to get these wins nonetheless. This was the first day of the Ultra Premier Cup. Ultra Premier Classic. This was 12:15 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Anyways, we have Nidoqueen Mirror. Mine is like 45 CP less, which is fine. I'm actually going to let this first move go, and that's an Earth Power. So, and my opponent gets a fast move through. Okay, well, if my opponent didn't shield that, I was kind of screwed. Anyways, I'm going to be able to bank that Poison Fang. Sylveon is going to come in, and Shadow Swampert is going to be able... That's not Shadow... That's Shadow Snorlax. I'm so sorry, y'all. Shadow Snorlax is going to be able to probably throw off 3 Body Slams if I decide to go for the farm down. So I'm going to be able to let this Body Slam go. I'll live it, and then let's see, can I farm this down? No. Sylveon is going to have to shield to keep its energy. Having a Psychic and Fairy move is pretty good. Like, you have a lot of coverage for the poison types that are pretty prevalent in this meta. And Psyshock is going to be coming through, getting a lot of damage. I come in, forget how much energy I have in Poison Fang, and my opponent is going off the deep end. That's to say the least. Shields up the Poison Fang, the double resisted Poison Fang, and then actually my opponent is not able to counter me down without me getting to a Psyshock, so he has to throw a Cross Chop. This gives me a very clear win condition. What is it, you might ask? Build up to 2 Hydro Cannons and throw them off back to back. This first one's going to be taking out the Shadow Machamp, first of all because it's Shadow, second of all because it's not going to be able to take a Hydro Cannon from 45% HP, and Nidoqueen concedes a match. So that's going to be a good game. And actually farmed up an extra Mud Shot as he came in, which was completely unnecessary because my opponent didn't have a shield, and I had a Hydro Cannon. Nidoqueen into Gramble. This is going to be for the 5-0. Really nice lead. And why? Why did I switch out to those? So frustrated. Basically, my idiot thought process here is A, you want to conserve the Nidoqueen for the Shadow Gramble, so you want to switch, right? B, you have Swampert. Swampert doesn't like Venusaur. So C, go into the other Mon. But then you take a second to realize your other Mon is Sylveon, and you're bringing it into a Poison type. So I lose switch, and now my opponent has 2 charged moves. So yeah, basically this is how to ruin the simplest win ever 101 with me. Sometimes you stay in when they switch out of their lead, even when it is switching out of a Shadow Gramble against a Nidoqueen. Hope this helps. Hey, I can be be making bad plays but still being constructive, right? Anyways, I was so peeved at this point. I was like, okay, well, I have to play perfect to win, so I try and fast move deny, and I don't. I should have just given up here. But it's me. What can I say? Gramble, Empoleon, and Venusaur. So, what I could have done, just use Nidoqueen for the Venusaur, use Sylveon for the Shadow Gramble, and use Swampert for the Empoleon, and then GG. But, I mean, it still gets a little bit complicated, so. My opponent switches out of a Dragonite into a Lapras, and I was kind of shell-shocked. I was like, okay, well, first of all, I don't really want to switch into Sylveon because I want it for Dragonite. And second of all, Swampert's not a great check for Lapras. So I Shield Bait. That's pretty good. Shield Bait with the Poison Fang. And now I can keep some extra energy on Nidoqueen, and then I can also come into Swampert, and now I think it's an Earthquake range. So look at me go. Being smart. Alright, Hydro Cannon coming through onto Dragonite, because why would I want to throw an Earthquake? Gonna throw another Hydro. And now I'm going to come into Sylveon. Our switch timers are misaligned, so this is going to be pretty good for me. Now let's see what he comes in with now. Ooh, my opponent doesn't have an answer to a Charmer, baby. So, Dragonite, Lapras, Togekiss, double flyer, triple weak to rock, and doesn't have an answer to Charm. Buddy, you might want to rethink your team. You ever thought about that? Sorry, I'm being kind of brutal. Dude, I'm so pissed I have to do this commentary again. I love commentating my battles. I just don't want to do it twice. You know? Once is perfect. Anyways, Nidoqueen, Lapras, just going to be able to finish this matchup here. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and that's going to be a GG. So, I went 13-2. Which set's going to be the 5-0? I don't know. We'll see. Could be this one. Could be the next one. But I went 4-1 in the first one, so that means I'm going to go 9-1, which means I'm going to go 5-0 or 4-1 on each of the next two sets. So, Dragonite, you know how this matchup goes. You've already seen it a couple of times. Ooh, it's Murkrow Hour? That's kind of dumb. Swampert onto... That's I think Snarl, Alolan Muck. Yeah, that's Snarl. So, I'm going to bait my opponent. And he falls for the bait. At this point, am I going to try and double bait? Or am I going to try to just straight up go for the nuke? And even if I get another shield, just take my shield deficit. What am I going to do? I'm going to go for the bait again. And my opponent doesn't fall for it. So I definitely should have just gone for the Earthquake. At this point, I can shield up and try to farm down, but I don't even think I'll be able to farm down. Because 6 mud shots from this range? No. I go way over 100, and I'm forced to catch. Which is fine. Like, you know, gonna be able to catch, farm it down. And I don't get to the point of being, I tapped on it. And I kind of got hoed by the system here, but Sylveon's fine, and well, it's safe to say it doesn't matter. So okay, if you're gonna run, first of all, don't run this team. Second of all, if you're gonna run Dragonite and Machamp and Alolan Muck, why would you run Snarl on it? I guess it makes you better against ghosts, but like, you have 2 glaring weaknesses. And one is Charm, so. Alright, getting into the next battle here, we have a flyer on the lead. That's Charizard. And it's just Nidoqueen in the one shield in neutral situations. It almost always wins. And to top it all off, successfully shield a Blast Burn. And then I go straight for the Earth Power here. This is the most predictable Earth Power ever. I definitely should have baited and then just banked a little bit of energy. And at this point I have to shield another big nuke move. Shadow Ball. It's very, very good that I didn't get baited, because if I did, my opponent would have been able to shield this and probably get to another Shadow Ball. But my opponent lets this go. This makes me worried that he might have an answer to me in the back. It is a Trevenant, so my opponent has double Ghost with Charizard in the lead. Very interesting. Has its strengths, has its weaknesses, but I think overall, you know, thinking about it, this seems pretty good. Anyways, this Hydro Cannon damage is just so impressive. Like, I think 3 of them basically takes it out, even though it's resisting. And my opponent has to throw a Seed Bomb. Doesn't even KO. And, why did I not throw the Poison Fang? Would have made this battle a lot smoother. My big brain here decides that, you know what? Let's just come in Swampert, drain the Trevenant's energy, and then I can just come in with Sylveon. This Dragon Breath Charizard won't be able to get to a Blast Burn. First of all, because it's Dragon Breath, and it helps that it's double resisted. So even if Trevenant got to a Shadow Ball or Charizard got to a Blast Burn, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been GG. Alright, Nidoqueen into Gorgeist, or Gorgeist, or Gorgeist, or Gorgeist. I don't know what people call this thing. I need to go to some official Pokemon source and hear it, because phonetically I just want to call it Gorgeist, but it sounds like the word gorgeous, and it's not gorgeous. I hate to say it, but it's not. Anyways, this thing is going to be throwing Shadow Ball at me. I definitely could have shielded it, but I thought he was going to bait me, and then here is where he throws the Seed Bomb, so I kind of have to go down a shield. And he switches into Empoleon, and I just straight up throw the Poison Fang, which is pretty dumb on my end. I should have either thrown the Earth Power right when I saw that he switched into a Steel type, or I should have just banked the energy. And that's something I want to talk about, is there is a lot of times with this team where you need to know when to bank energy. Sometimes I'll load up on Swampert, and then if my opponent brings in another Mon, I need to know when to throw or when to bank the energy and switch out. So if you're going to run this team, that is something that I would definitely recommend, is at least when you're in the game, try and think of times where you need to throw your energy, but also times where you don't need to throw your energy and you can save it for later. Anyways, my opponent comes back in with, I'm just going to call it Gorgeist, but at this point, if he throws Shadow Ball, that's fine. He does. He had enough energy for it, but now I can just Charm down, and now I can just Charm down. So I'm actually going to shield this move. This is a Blast Burn, okay. Alright. Gonna throw the Psyshock right away, and at this point, I need my Switch Clock to come up, or I need my opponent to throw. One or the other. Let's see. Ooh, my opponent could have farmed down and gotten to a Dragon Claw, but he decides to throw. He literally decides to throw. He also decides to throw the match, because you need to farm down to be able to win that game. We all choke games, but I kind of got lucky there. Shouldn't have won. Alright, we have Charizard Redemption time. Let's see what my opponent's backline is. Hopefully he doesn't have one of those Ghost and Grass types in the back. That would suck. But at least I have Sylveon for it. So I'm going to let this go. If it's Blast Burn, fine. And it's a Dragon Claw. So this is really nice. Okay. Alright. Mr. Rhyme. And I throw on 4? No! What am I doing? Oh, he gets a free Confusion through. At this point, I think... Oh god, I think Mr. Rhyme has... I think it's Psyshock Icy Wind. Also, I'm so sorry for the yawns, y'all. I guess commentary for an hour straight is just making me sleepy. Also, I'm in a dark room, so that doesn't really help. Anyways, this time I am actually going to get farmed down by Charizard. And let's see. I'm going to come in Swampert, and he blind throws, so I probably should assume this is Dragon Claw. Like, I'm down a shield, though, so... Oh, no, I'm up a shield, so I shield. It's a nice bait by my opponent. And now he's just going to throw another Dragon Claw. And Machamp. This is pretty tricky, but it's nice that I was able to get out when I did. This is going to allow me to get to a second Poison Fang. This is almost going to guarantee a shield for my opponent. And again, this is going to be pretty tricky. So, my opponent's loaded on energy. I guess I'm going to shield this first one just in case it's like a payback or something crazy. My opponent throws back-to-back cross chops, which is good. And at this point, I throw the Hydro right away. And I assume that my opponent's energy dry, and he actually concedes the match. Wow. I think if he was 3 Fire Spins away, he would have been able to get to Dragon Claw and win there. But look at that, 5-0. So I should be, I'm 9-1 so far. I probably should be 8-2. One game I choked, I should have won. In 2 games I won, I shouldn't have. Anyways, we have Venusaur on the lead. This is really good. This is where you want to see it. This is what I'm very scared of in the back. So 90% of the time, if you're going to see a Venusaur on the lead, you can almost just wrap it up. The game's curtains. I don't think Venusaur leads should ever beat this team. Unless they're running like something weird, triple grass, you know, some hard answered Swampert in the back. Anyways, Swampert into Snorlax. So this is neutral, but like, whoa. So my opponent throws super power. At this point, I was gonna throw an Earthquake, but he debuffed himself. So I am loaded on energy now. I'm just gonna throw this Earthquake. I didn't know if my opponent would shield or not, but he did. And now I'm just gonna be able to get to a Hydro Cannon, get some guaranteed chip off, which is nice. But if I would have been successfully baited my opponent and then gotten the Earthquake off, this game would be wraps. Well, let's see what my opponent has for a Sylveon. That's not an answer to a Sylveon. That is a Gyarados. That is Dragon. Fast move damage. And this game is over, just like that. Anyways, Psyshock coming through. Gonna take it out. Oh, he shields. It's pretty smart, actually. I think either way you lose this match, though, so it doesn't really matter. Gonna live 2 Aqua Tails. And then bye-bye, buddy. So I kind of hard countered him. There's not really much you can do there. Probably could have fought for Switch, not thrown Superpower on my Swampert, instead thrown Body Slam, because I think it's more energy efficient. Anyways, there's a reason I might not run this team in the future. One reason is because I saw Swampert double grass in the back a couple times. Swampert double grass absolutely hard counters this team to infinity and beyond. Trevenant and Venusaur, the 2 grass types I'm talking about. Nido has nowhere to run because you're locked into the lead with Swampert, and if I switch Sylveon, my opponent switches Venusaur, wins, back switch. If I switch Swampert, my opponent switches Trevenant, wins, back switch. Or my opponent switches into Venusaur and just destroys me, has energy for Nidoqueen. Like, there's no winning here. I want to spoil this matchup. I didn't win. I got the Poison Fang off here because I thought that I needed to take it out to get a little bit of Poison Jab damage. No. Why does it matter? Maybe I was using it for a sack swap later. Nope. It's Venusaur in the back. So, GG. Anyways, getting into the next one. I got hard counter there. Couldn't have won even if I wanted to. So 14-1 is the best record I could have had today. We have a Alolan Muck. This is nice for 2 reasons. One, oh, no, it's not Poison Jab. It's Snarl. There's one reason why this is a good matchup, and that is Earth Power. And my opponent lets it go, which is nice. My opponent does have Dark Pulse, so I probably... Ooh, I don't win the 0, which is absurd. I'm going to shield up the Dark Pulse. Am I going to farm this down? 5, 6. Ooh, I should not have farmed him down. He lagged, and that allowed me to get the farm down. This matchup would have probably gone a whole nother way if that was the case, but I am successfully able to bait my opponent, and then I throw the Earth Power, he shields again. So it should be shields down at this point. My opponent would be getting a Blast Burn here, he'd be throwing it. Definitely changes the dynamic of this game, but I think I would have been fine either way. Swampert just has a lot of play against the back line here. Anyways, my opponent does throw the Blast Burn, and I'm able to live. Now, what is my opponent going to do? Nido is going to come back in. My opponent is going to throw, and it is a Dragon Claw. It doesn't KO, which I probably would have hoped that it did, because I don't want this Escavalier getting farm. Anyways, I am going to let this move go. It is Mega Horn, so he doesn't even bait me. So this matchup would have been played out exactly the way it would have if I had 0 shields. I get to this Earthquake, and I'd be taking it out. So it wouldn't matter. It would have been game anyway. Alright. Getting into the next one. I am in Boredom. That's a very valid name. A little bit of lag on the lead here, but we have Nidoqueen induced Shadow Snorlax. Anyways, I'm sorry if the commentary has been really bad. I want to get this video out, and I don't want to have to keep repeating the commentary over and over again just because it's bad. So this is what I'm going to settle on. There have been a lot of pauses, a lot of yawns, a lot of ifs, ands, but yeah, but it is what it is. Snorlax is going to body slam me. I am okay with going down 1 shield to be able to ensure switch advantage. I'm able to get a pretty big energy lead coming out, and alignment. Okay, my opponent safe switches Kingdra, and I come in Swampert instead of my Fairy type. Alright, I'm so sorry for this gameplay, y'all. I didn't put this at the end for this reason. I put it in the end because this is my 3rd set of battles. They're in chronological order. It was 1 a.m. though. I was super tired playing these games, and you know, it shows. I don't get another Hydro off, so I lose the 1. God, I can't stop yawning. I'm so sorry, y'all. If you've watched this far, which I know not a lot of you guys do, I'm sorry. Anyways, my opponent switches Sylveon, which is really nice to see. I'm going to be able to throw Poison Fang with Nidoqueen, throw 3 Poison Jabs, and then this game should be over. Because I'm going to be able to shield up any move here, and then I'll farm this thing down. Its defense has been debuffed. And then there's a 1 HP Snorlax. There's a 1 HP Kingdra. And I'm going to throw the Side Shock on the Kingdra. I think the Kingdra had a lot of energy, so he would have been able to maybe get a move off on me. But let's see. I'm able to charm down the Snorlax. So that's a GG. Getting into the next matchup, we have Sylveon on the lead. This is awesome. And my opponent switches into Snorlax. I'm just going to throw Poison Fang and dip. And since my opponent had Sylveon on the lead, I'm probably going to come in with my own Sylveon on the Snorlax. Both are pretty neutral, but I think my idea is that Swampert has a better matchup on the back line. Sylveon and Snorlax are just so neutral. You need covered for a steel type. So maybe Sylveon would have played in the back. No. Well, I don't know why I'm confusing myself so much. I need to just remember what he had in the back. He lets the Moonblast go, which is actually huge. Obviously, I'm going to get farmed down. I'm fine with that. And, ooh, it's an Excadrill. Okay, so I'm very glad that I came in with Sylveon on that Snorlax, or else I probably would have lost this game. Anyways, I'm going to have to get to 3 Hydro Cannons before my opponent gets to 3 Drill Runs. And if I'm able to get Fast Moves through, like I am now, that shouldn't be too hard. I get another Fast Move through, which is huge. And at this point, all I have to do is get to 2 Hydro Cannons. So I'm 1 Mud Shot away from the next one. So this one's obviously going to get shielded. Okay, my opponent concedes. So let's see. I think this is the 4-1. All right, so 13-2, gained 160 elo points. There's a black screen here because I goofed on the editing and didn't move the last screen over. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about the commentary. Thank you guys so much for the support. But I'll probably be crafting a new Ultra Team. Might end up using Trevenant, might not. But anyways, stay tuned for later videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.